everybody. Welcome to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. I'm Maria.
And I'm Josh Cribbs. Welcome to The Return, baby.
Ooh, I'm stuff from all that Thanksgiving. How was everyone's Thanksgiving, Josh?
We
shared the same household. So
yeah. I had a really good Thanksgiving. Ryan, I stayed up in my room for a little bit. When I came down, it was about 40 or 50 people in my house.
Wow.
I didn't know that many people could fit in my house.
That's
I looked in my sunroom. I was like, who are those people? I was like, who are them?
I knew everybody. It's just a thing.
What happened is, let me tell you, Maria. Maria's little cousins grew up and now they have families.
They're like 30 now.
Okay.
And they have families, right? And they have kids and they have spouses, and some of the spouses brought their family. So it was family of family. And I barely know the spouse, if any.
Yeah.
So I know them. So I was like, I came down like, oh, how you doing? Who are you? Nice to meet you.
Who you here with?
Yeah.
Who you with?
But it was who you with?
I like 30
It was
seconds.
it was very, very festive
It was
in the
great.
house. It was very festive. A lot of dancing, a lot of sorority members in the house.
Yeah.
So
That
They
sounds
were
kind of
stepping.
cool.
yeah, it was a
You
step
saw it,
show
yeah,
going on.
Step show in the house.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Ryan, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
at home?
Didn't have that many people, but it was good. It was good food, good time, good to see everybody. Nice little relaxing break, much needed.
Yeah.
But I'm glad your guys' was good as well.
Oh
Yeah, I tend to be antisocial.
and that's what I was gonna say. Josh, if he
I don't want to be, but
you
I'm
like
in my
company.
home.
Josh loves to have company.
Yeah, I
over.
want everybody to be quiet and let's watch a movie.
Yeah, but he doesn't
And
necessarily
snuggle
want
under
to
some cover
entertain the
to
company.
ourselves.
So that's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I had so many. I was just so busy cooking and cleaning and entertaining that I didn't get a chance to respond to some of my Happy Thanksgiving text messages or send
Me
them out.
neither. Me
so
neither.
anyone
Wow.
I charged in my head, not
I'm
my
so
heart. I
sorry.
didn't mean anything by it. I was just busy. But hope you all watching and everyone that I loved had a wonderful holiday.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
Ryan
gonna have
said,
to
it must
say
need a
that too,
break.
Maria.
Yeah,
Like I had received a lot of happy Thanksgiving messages, even text messages
I didn't respond back
that I
to
have
one.
to respond. And I'm again, like Maria said, charge it to our heads and not our hearts.
Right.
Right.
Now I do got a little, I want to ask y'all, how long do y'all keep nibbling on these Thanksgiving leftovers? And I want to show you what's going down at our house. Ryan, you got the video ready? All right, look at this,
Oh
y'all.
my God.
Y'all gotta be safe out here because these pies, I don't know why this kind of stuff be happening to me, y'all. I don't look at this. Y'all, just tell me why. That's a not so sweet looking potato pie. And then started doing this Friday. What in the, and then look, like Patty over here doing just fine. Y'all, what happened? Be careful with these pies. You know how you be trying to eat your Thanksgiving food and making it last. This stuff over here molding. Patty's Day say, best if used by the 5th. See that right there? This one, ugh, y'all, why me? And I'm like, should it have been refrigerated? We didn't refrigerate Patty. Patty pie, the Patty pie is doing just fine. I just it's probably time to throw out the Thanksgiving food. It ain't even been a week yet, but depending on if you had it in hot and cold temperatures, supposed to be refrigerated or not. We ain't trying to have nobody get sick though. It might be time. Just discard it. Now, should I return it back to the store and say it didn't last? I should have purchased this on Tuesday, and by Friday it's already molding. Was I supposed to keep it in the refrigerator? Because I let Patty over here sitting out. She was not refrigerated. We still nibbling on Patty. When did y'all make these pies? How far in advance were these pies made before Thanksgiving? Because I got some questions. Should I return it to the store or just go ahead and toss it? I want them to see. I want them to see what's on my table. I don't know, y'all.
Y'all, what's up with that pie?
Uh-uh.
And so now everybody in my comments, they're like, well, obviously the one that was molded was the fresher one, and the one that lasts was the one that had all preservatives in it. And I'm like, okay, but I'm in
No.
trouble because John, okay.
You
tell
in
them what
very
happened.
much trouble. I came downstairs. She made that video today. You can see she had on the same thing. She has on the same thing. I came downstairs looking for that patty pie. I was looking for a snack before we came to do the show. So she doing videos and all that. She finished up. She moving, shaking and moving. I'm looking in all the cabinets. I'm looking on the countertops. So Maria has deemed that the food is no more good.
It's not good any
It's
longer.
not good any longer.
Right.
So she put all the Thanksgiving food on the counter.
It's trash day.
Meaning no
It's
more
your last
eats.
day.
Yeah, you can't have this
last
anymore.
call. You at the bar, it'd be
Cool.
last call for alcohol.
Cool. She had it up there. That means you can't eat it no more. So she took it out the refrigerator in preparation, throw it in the trash. Meanwhile, I'm looking at something that I know lasts a little longer. I like pie. And I'm looking around for it, and I'm like, where's the pie at? Where's the patty pie? And she like, I don't know. So we almost got in a little argument. I'm
He
like,
literally
you
just
either-
asked me, where's the
you
patty
either
pie?
know or you don't know.
And until we played the video, I said, oh, I did have a patty pie in my hand
I'm
today.
like, it's right
I
there.
threw it in the trash.
I was salivating. I'm like, hold on. So and I'm looking at her. I'm like, you got on the same. You knew what a pie was.
Because I don't know what goes down at your house, but if they could continue eating those Thanksgiving leftovers until they're gone, like no matter how many weeks go by, they will continue to do so. So I'm like, hey, I don't want anybody's stomach to start hurting. I don't need you in the house all gassy and it's stinking up my house. No, it's going in the trash. It's trash day. It's going out in the trash. But the mold, that mold, I have questions.
We started looking at stuff, Ryan, on Instagram about how long is it too long to eat food, and I seen a meme, and it basically said, and I put it in my story, and it basically was like, if you still eating Thanksgiving food, you gonna die. I was looking at it, eating Thanksgiving food. I'm looking at the meme. I'm scrolling. I'm like, eating. It was like, you still eating Thanksgiving.
Or tasting
And
a
it
little
was
tangy.
like,
I don't think any of that is really true though. I think
Definitely not.
no,
Ryan,
like
how
they
long
always
you
say
How long
that
you eating it for?
until it smells or looks bad.
Until it smells.
I
or
don't
look
waste
bad.
food. People
Or-
used to eat raw meat.
That's
Right.
true. With
People
no
used to eat
refrigerator.
raw meat without anything to preserve it.
Yep. that's
Or
true.
you get a tummy ache.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good sign that your body is
That
saying,
little Pepto-Bismol can cure.
yeah, your body like,
So that was it, you guys. So happy Thanksgiving to you all. But that pie, I have some questions. Maybe it really is just a more natural pie, and maybe need to be refrigerated.
Everybody
but the
is
mold,
different. You got to pay attention to the food you eat.
Yeah, you do.
And if you refrigerate it properly, yeah, you got to make your own judgment. But there is a cutoff time. But I think we're cutting it too close when we talking about 3 days, 4 days. I know my mother used to cook spaghetti, and I still hate it to this day. She used to cook spaghetti, and I'm like, man, anything to eat, some spaghetti down there. I'm like, man, that's some more
That's
spaghetti.
since last week, right?
Yeah.
Right. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Now, Josh, I know you said something about passing judgment. Are we judging the Browns?
Are we judging the
Ooh,
Browns?
We'll talk
We
about it
gonna
when we
judge
return.
everybody.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, now welcome back to the return. Now, I will say this. The Browns versus the Broncos last night, Monday night, primetime TV. I thought it was a really good game.
It was an awesome game.
Yeah.
I'm usually sleep at Monday Night Football. I look at it about halftime or so, and usually it's not the Browns. It ain't our dogs. So I'm looking at it. I look at it casually, and then I drift off after halftime. That's it for me. I don't watch other teams play. Even in our division, I have watched teams in our division, but the Browns gave us something to stay up all night for, all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And I have a question, and I pose these questions because I feel like, they're very important, and it's a perspective of how we look at the game and how it was played. I'm going to just go right into it. Ryan, do you agree with this?
All
True
right.
or false?
Okay.
Jameis Winston, and for you guys out there, for the viewers as well, Jameis Winston would be a franchise QB if not for the interceptions. True or false?
I mean, yeah, that's 100% true. But it's not like you can't count those out, right? It's like,
Right.
but what if blank didn't happen? Well, if my aunt had, balls, she'd
your
be my uncle.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
get it.
I mean, the passing is there. The arm talent is certainly there, and he's an intelligent quarterback. Does he make mistakes? Yes, more than others, probably. But that comes with the type of player he is, right? The gunslinger mentality, not scared to air it down the field. And that comes with interceptions sometimes. I mean, when you throw damn near 60 times like you did on Monday night, you're going to throw picks. That's just how it is. Now, did they come at unfortunate times? Yeah. Or did they return them for points? Yeah, of course. That's like the worst thing you can happen. But, I mean, just that statement alone, yeah, if you took out his interceptions, I mean, he has a good stat line as anybody.
But not just that, because he came here and we knew that that's what he did. Even, the first game he came back.
And that's why he was a backup. That's why he was
Exactly.
available.
Exactly. That was Jameis's, Achilles heel, if we say. He throw picks. However, you get a guy like that who has an opportunity to go down the field and win a ball game. With 2 pick sixes, he still had an opportunity at the end to go down and drive down the field and win a game, possibly go for over. Because listen to this. He completes that pass in the end zone. Not only do we win the game, but he goes over 500 yards passing.
Yeah,
He was 3 yards shy of 500 yards passing.
Yeah, I mean, he's now the Cleveland Browns franchise record holder for the most passing yards in a single game. And it's just crazy to think about how just in these past 2 years, when Deshaun Watson has been off the field because of injuries, you've had now a 38-year-old come in and break records franchise, and now you have a career backup come and do the same thing. It's honestly incredible, and it's just like peak
You're
Browns.
onto something there, and I'm going to bring it up later because, I want to go step by step with this, like I'm prosecuting a case. But it's more so has to do with Jameis Winston. When we look at Jameis, and I talked about it a little bit last week, is it possible for Jameis Winston to play himself off of the Browns? Because listen to this. Had he drove it down the field, not even with the pick six, if we win that game last night, and he continues to show that progress where because he could be a franchise if he didn't throw these picks. Like this would have been that year had it not continued. He was on his press conference. He said, he was thinking, hoping, praying to God that he delivers him from throwing pick sixes. That's his Achilles heel. And this is not, they are sort of hiccups. Like when we get the hiccups out of nowhere, it just like happens. We're like, oh my God, I didn't want this to happen. I would have did something different if I knew I was going to get the hiccups. But it was one of the picks was an out route. He threw it too late. And that's quarterback 101. And he knows that. And it's like just these snafus that happen that overshadow a historic day for him, right? And in Browns history. Is it possible for him to play himself off of the Browns, meaning that his stock will rise? We got 5 games left. He keep putting up 400-yard passing games. Is it possible for another team to be like, man, we need a Jameis Winston on our team, and we can't afford him no more here with the Browns? Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. I mean, there's going to be at least 6 teams probably next season vying for a new starting quarterback, whether that's from the draft or free agency. I mean, the only 2 real quarterbacks this year that seem probably that they're going to get drafted in the first round, and you always have a few more than expected usually, but it's, Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. And outside of that, you're looking at a couple second-round grades. And if Jameis Winston continues to throw for 400 yards, I would imagine regardless of a pick here and a pick there, there'll probably, a team, desperate enough. And that's not a shot at Jameis Winston, but they'll be desperate enough to get a quarterback because, as we've seen in this league the last decade, really, if you don't have a starting quarterback that can move you down the field, I mean, defenses can only do so much, right? You see the Josh Allens of the world, the Lamar Jacksons, the Patrick Mahomes. Those are the guys that win when the games matter because the ball's in their hands in playoff moments. And they're going to need to try and get that. Now, is Jameis that? I don't know, but a team's certainly probably going to be willing to throw him money if he keeps playing like this, and I just hope that the Browns bring him back because it's been the best thing about this season, really.
And the reason why, and I want everybody to understand, the reason why I say that he could play himself off of the Browns is because we're in debt as it relates to, paying for players or having enough cap to have players. You wouldn't spend a lot of money on players at one position. Meaning there's already a lot of money wrapped up into Deshaun Watson, right? So if we could keep Jameis Winston, who was coming off of a good year, a mediocre year, above average year, that would be perfect, a sweet spot. But like we said, there are teams that need a Jameis Winston in there if he's throwing for over 400, 500 yards a game, because they may have a running back that's producing. So that's why I'm curious to what you think, because even with the interceptions, I think that's maybe working himself back on the possibility back here next year to be a backup for us, because we'll still look for a franchise, or we still have to go with Deshaun, right? And who else would be the backup?
Why would someone be
short-handed guy?
Why would someone be because when I saw, I'm just not used to seeing so many interceptions in one game.
Right.
That was really, especially like Monday Night Football.
Right.
Broke records as far as his passing yards, but I'm like, dang. So it started making me think, like, I think there's a reason why certain players, because I always look like, well, what makes somebody a backup opposed to a starter? Sometimes it comes down to money, how much you pay for a guy.
There.
But that's what I started thinking, like, and that's why, you got your backups because you just can't do that. Especially like if the game was really on the line. Say we were trying to make it to play. I was to say we were trying to make it to playoffs. We're not in the running for playoffs anymore.
Right.
But if we were trying to make it to playoffs, you can't be just throwing pick six like that.
Because you feel like you can't trust them.
Yeah.
So
I loved it was impressive. I love to see him just throw it and just, what do you throw for 70 yards?
Right.
That one play. I love to see he's not afraid to just take the risk.
Neither was Brett
I
Favre.
wasn't feeling I'm like the pick six, baby.
The
God.
person that threw more picks than him was Brett Favre. Pick sixes.
Yeah.
Brett Favre holds the record for most pick sixes in the NFL. And I believe Jameis is right behind him. And interceptions as well.
But Brett Favre, he was a starter.
Right.
That was his team out there. Where was that? What was Brett Favre? Hold up, I'm tripping.
Packers,
yeah. That was his team.
For lots
As
of
a
years.
backup, is it okay to be just slinging them picks?
Well, he
like
wasn't
that?
a backup.
Yeah, when the game, we was on a 2-yard line.
You got to
and in the
understand,
end,
Maria, and everybody, he became a backup. Jameis Winston was a starter.
Oh.
But because of that, now, because you can't trust him, now he's a backup. And it don't have nothing to do with him as a person.
Oh, no, absolutely
Everyone
not.
loves him.
Yeah.
And
everyone.
we talk to him all the time. And it's just unfortunate because not just 2 pick sixes, he almost threw another one at the end. And that was the opportunity for him to kind of be like, yeah, I got this. But, Ryan, Maria, you guys thought we would take an L.
But hold on,
Monday
what is
night.
that? Because you were QB. What was that? What is that about? What is that about? Where is the interception? Where the pick? Like, what is you're not reading something correctly? Your progressions? What is
man, they're mistakes. Like when you're out there balling like he was, he's in a zone, it happens.
You get comfortable?
To the best of us.
Absolutely.
But just to him more often than not. I was going to, and I'm going to just ask it right now. So, Ryan, I was going to ask you, what did you feel about Bo Nix? And I'm going to tell you how I felt about him.
Yeah.
I felt Sean Payton played a very safe offense and said, just you wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Jameis
you can
legit,
probably, barring a collapse, I think you can go ahead and put a bow on it that he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. And listen, he's been incredible, right? I mean, played so many games in college, right? Had so much experience. He comes in and Sean Payton wanted him, right? He was looking for his next Drew Brees, and he never really had to draft a quarterback. This was like the first time he's trying to draft a franchise quarterback, and so far it looks like he got it. And the most impressive part about it is, I mean, he's not throwing to superstars. Cortland Sutton's a great receiver. But outside of that, I mean, right. But the thing is about Bo Nix is, and what's been so good is he's not making any mistakes twice. He's learning on the fly as a rookie, and he's doing tremendous. And it's just funny what you see when you have an elite head coach in Sean Payton, and even if he's been out of the league for a little while, I think you can still call Sean Payton elite. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. They allowed him to go in the draft and get his guy. Hey, idea, Browns. Why don't you do the same thing with Kevin Stefanski? Actually let him pick who he wants at quarterback. Crazy idea.
No, it's not crazy. Let him pick his backup. Because that's who that guy would be. We're hamstrung right now, right? We're going to live and die by, unless they make a decision, right? Unless they do Haslam's get with Andrew Berry and they make a decision in the offseason and say, you know what? I think we're going to have to eat $126 million.
I mean, I still think they'll be able to, hopefully, in a perfect world. I understand you're not going to cut Deshaun Watson because of the cap constraints if you do, but if you can bring back Jameis Winston, listen, I think it's the perfect opportunity. Like, you're not going to fix the fallback that you got from the Deshaun Watson deal in one season, and that's what a lot of fans want, but the reality of it is that's probably going to take time to get over. But I think right now, with the quarterback limited options, I think you got to roll with Jameis Winston if he's available.
But that's my thing. If he's available, because you putting up yardage like that, you putting up passing records like that. I mean, the price goes up, baby.
It does. It only goes up your market. So it only goes up depending on your market.
Or
no, you might not have a choice. So you look at the market. People will talk to your agent, and they will send out fillers, and they'll tell you will know the price.
Yeah.
And if he can't get anywhere else, or he'll probably stay. The safest position in the NFL is a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
They can play for. Ask Ken Dorsey. He played for some years, mostly as a backup in this league. We got more Browns after this.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Return. I don't know if I could necessarily be a backup because I'm more like a Beyonce. I'm the star of the show. I don't really want to be the backup singer, the backup dancer. I don't want to be the drummer. I don't want to be the guitarist. I don't want to be the percussionist. I really want to be right there in the spotlight. So I mean, if you pay me enough, I will. You know, I want to go. I want to man my own ship. I want to have my own team. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to David Ruffin. Right
Nobody
here.
come to see you, Otis.
The old David Ruffin.
I'm just saying. Why would I? Who wants? You don't go your whole life wanting to be a backup. No, I want to man my own ship.
The NFL is the best of the best.
But I don't want to be a backup.
If you're in it, if you're in it, you're in a league of your own. It's a career. You're not in show business, even though it's a lot of entertainment going on. Yeah, they do what they have to do to
I'm so
become
glad
a
you
starter.
Said that. I was talking to our son the other day. It 100% is show business.
Yeah.
When I watch football, I want
It's
to be
a
entertained.
showman.
And then that's why I was talking to my mother on the phone the other day, and I was just saying, hey, when it comes to my QBs, I do like them to have a certain personality. So I think that got something to do too with the whole backupism. Like I want you to talk your stuff. I want you to pop your stuff and
Jameis Winston certainly doesn't come off as a backup. Even when he wasn't the starter, he was leading the huddle. He is a starter. He just got to get that fix. Cleveland, we all should pray that God delivers him from pick sixes.
Yeah.
Because he will deliver us as a team, as a city. He threw for over 400 yards.
I think the team
and
loves
we still took an L. He threw 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
And we still had a chance to win. That spoke highly of our defense.
Yeah.
Of how they kept us in it.
Him
they
and
kept
Judy,
us
they
there.
locked in. Like, oh my, it was just
Wrapping up this whole Bo Nix, right? I felt that Sean Payton, he called a safe offense for him. Their defense helped, right? The pick sixes, we spotted them 14 and gave them the ball back at the end. So that helped. And they had a balanced attack. They was running the ball pretty good off of us. They have a running back by committee, and they ran pretty well, which allowed Bo Nix not to have to be a savior. Yeah, he gave up a pick against a very good Denzel Ward, who was playing pretty good last week. I mean, he played pretty good against a good team, right? Against a playoff-bound team. And I think that, tell me if you agree with this. I think that right now he's playing like Mac Jones did his rookie year, which was good because he came here and beat us his rookie season when he played with the Patriots.
Yeah, which is crazy because Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl that year, actually, if you remember, as a rookie, and then obviously hasn't amounted to anything since. But no, Bo Nix has been phenomenal. And yeah, like Sean Payton's done an incredible job in Denver in the short stint that he's been there. I mean, now they're, I believe, 8-5. They're looking in on the playoffs, and they've got some special young talent on cheap deals. And that's every coach GM's dream. And the Broncos are certainly in a better place than us right now for a lot of reasons, I think. But Bo Nix has been incredible.
Ken Dorsey. He's 2-2, right, as a play caller. I think 2-3 now. And it's a two-sided coin for me, because for me, I was thinking that his sort of vanilla, right, play calling, doing a better job at running the ball and making a statement like, "No, we're gonna run when we supposed to," and even when we say, if we had a good running back right now, we should run, even second and 10. 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, instead of trying to get back on track, run the ball. You might get on track. He runs, and under him, Jameis Winston is flourishing, and we have a 400-yard passer on a regular, or 300. You know what I mean? And is it Ken Dorsey that needed more time with Deshaun? I don't want you to have a cow, man.
No, it's not. Because we saw the same exact thing. Joe Flacco was stringing together 300-yard games with Kevin Stefanski calling plays. And look what happened yesterday. Jerry Jeudy ascended to a true wide receiver 1. Joe Flacco did it with Amari Cooper. David Njoku looks like an all-star tight end.
Okay,
He looked like that with Joe Flacco.
I won't make you upset asking that question.
Don't go back to this Deshaun. But Ken's done a great job. And I think just yesterday, the Browns had 0 run game on Monday night. Right. And I think that kind of, it allowed the defense to pin their ears back. They knew Jameis was just going to sit back there and deliver a throw every play. And that probably played into why you had 2 pick sixes. But, overall, I think Ken Dorsey's done a good job.
Right. So I want to get back to this because, Maria, you had got me sidetracked. You guys actually picked the Browns to lose, right? Yes. They lost.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you and Ryan both said you had asked all these questions like,
Ryan, did we, Ryan?
Yes.
We did.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And
I forgot. Got some timers.
like kept saying, "Oh yeah, Hopkins gonna be on this game. The Browns gonna be look good." Yeah, I got the Browns losing. I was like, "How you gonna say all this
I
good
asked
stuff?"
what was the
and then-
Broncos record. I just
yeah,
wanted,
and then yeah. But anyway, I did say, it's not a total L for me because I did say the reason why we would win is because Jerry Jeudy's gonna go up there and have a game. He's gonna go up there and ball, and that almost happened.
Yeah.
Just like I said, because he still went up there and balled, and every time he scored or caught a pass.
Yeah, I
Getting
love
that
that.
boo
What's
from
that,
them
what's that
fans.
stuff y'all was talking?
He was
Mhm.
balling. That was a number one if I ever seen a number one in my life. And he has to continue that. The consistency for him warrants his payday. And then if he does this the last 5 weeks, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, we got to steal."
Yeah, I mean, listen, you traded for him and you gave him the extension knowing that you hope he would be that wide receiver one to replace Amari Cooper. Now that came sooner than you probably would have liked if you're the Browns. But you gave him the extension early because you hoped that he'd flourish here, and with Jameis Winston he has, and it'd save you money in the long run, and so far it's looking good. But I mean, granted, like that's what happens when, I'm not even trying to throw shade at Deshaun Watson, but that's what happens when you have a quarterback that's delivering you the ball. Jerry Jeudy did an amazing job of getting open Monday night, and he reaped the benefits of it. 235 yards. I mean, that was like Amari Cooper against the Texans last season, right? It's incredible what your offense as a whole can do when you have somebody under center that's delivering the ball where it needs to be.
Or someone can argue calling plays.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong
I
at all.
rock out
You're
with
not.
Coach Stefanski.
You're not wrong at all. But
because he's the head coach.
yeah,
It's not like they're not like it's
But-
not a committee in
Yeah.
Dorsey's ear. Hey, third down coming up. Let's look at these. Let's stay in this group A. Think you should go in that direction. It's not like he can't just say, hey, I got the next drive, and people will just know. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
Yeah.
he doesn't. He's not the coach still. I'm not taking it away from. I'm just saying a combination of things. And in that same breath, we have a quarterback throwing over 400 yards, and we're still taking L's.
yeah. I mean, obviously, Jameis Winston not even probably. Listen, he isn't like he's not the solution to get the Browns their first Super Bowl in history, or even get there for that fact. We know that. We understand that. Listen, he's 30. He's probably reached a ceiling of sorts for him in this point in his career. And yes, turnovers. When you lose a turnover battle, odds are you're going to lose that game. That's just statistics, right? And oftentimes when Jameis Winston's quarterbacking, there's a good chance that if you're not getting takeaways of your own, you're going to lose that battle. But I like watching Jameis Winston play offense a lot more than I have watching Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely. And it's fun, right?
Yeah, it's very fun.
So Tomlin said it on a podcast. He was like, he hate when coaches he hate when coaches don't coach. He hate when coaches say somebody's uncoachable, because this is your opportunity to coach. A lot of coaches say that to a guy because they're not the finished product. Winston is not a finished product because he has an inalienable problem, Achilles heel problem that needs to be coached out of him. He has whether he loses focus at certain aspects of the game because he's in a zone, and when he's in a zone, maybe a coach need to say, "Hey, you're doing real good. Continue to take what the defense gives him." I don't know what it could be. At any given moment, he's liable.
Yeah, that's very true. You're not wrong at all.
I don't know if it's a pep talk throughout the game. Hey, you're doing pretty good, but let's keep it. Let's dial it back a little bit. I see you're throwing passes.
You're getting comfortable.
You're getting comfortable. Let's stay locked in. Hey, stay low. If it's a phrase, because I used to use a phrase, right? Every time I would go, every time when it's fourth down, I'm about to catch a punt. Before I jog on the field, I have my gloves. I unsnap them, and I snap them, and I repeated the phrase: ball security equals job security. They didn't have to teach me how to run, but I have to make sure I caught the football. And I think just like kickers, field goal kickers and punters use, the mentality they have to lock in, and whatever they use mentally to focus and lock in, I think Jameis needs to do that as well. He needs to figure out the lock-in process on a more extended period, because it's not just the interceptions. It's when they come that significantly hurt this team and hurt his opportunities, and that's why he's still a backup. So when he does figure out that, that focus priority, or that point where he can not throw these picks and become greater than those interceptions. He is a franchise quarterback. And with that, we'll take another commercial break.
Be right back. All right, now welcome back to the show. Now, Josh, I want to ask you.
I heard my heart with the Dogs, man. I thought they was gonna pull it off.
It was too.
Great game, man.
Because
Go
even if he wouldn't have
Dogs.
caught that last interception, we still would have lost by 2, though. So
You
the
know
game
what,
was over.
Ryan? They gave us a good show.
Yeah, it was a good.
Oh, I mean, that was one of the most entertaining games of the season. I understand it came at the hands of a loss, but I mean,
Right.
not oftentimes you see the
I can
total
lose
get
like
over, 80 points or whatever it was, and you have a quarterback throwing for damn near
Right.
500 yards. That's
Shout out to
insane.
the Dogs, man.
Yeah,
They
that was a
playing for
great
Kevin
game.
Steele,
They all played hard.
and I keep playing I keep watching if they play like that. Go
Now
ahead,
the
Marie, you
Dogs
got it.
play the Steelers
The Pittsburgh
on
Steelers.
Sunday. All right, we got a game coming.
How you?
What does that mean? What side?
Nah,
He's eating the
this
W.
Is West Side.
That's what side?
This is
Oh.
a W. Okay,
Oh,
this
the
is a
win.
W
Oh,
too.
the win. Oh, okay.
I got a sweep in Pittsburgh. I think
on their home field
on
too.
the home turf.
Said we coming to.
I just man, it's just something about this AFC North division, man. We gonna play spoiler. We gonna mess up all the numbers, all the rankings. We messing it all up. And if we can sweep them, I can look at this season and go at them. Look and
With
go
a
at
twinkle in his eye.
with a twinkle in my eye and go at the Steelers fans online like they've been hopping in. Y'all still suck. I'm like, yeah, we didn't suck Thursday night though.
Right.
You know,
Y'all
so
couldn't get over that hump. All right.
I got a W. Go ahead, baby.
All right. So I want to ask you guys. Y'all see that hit that Trevor Lawrence took?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, Josh. When it comes to making tackles, do you have to? Like, is it the harder you do you have
Yes.
to tackle someone that hard to have success?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. You can't enter into anything lightly. If you a linebacker and you out there softly pillow tackling, you ain't in the league. You ain't gonna be in the league long.
Wow.
Yeah, you tackling to put them out legally within the limits. And it's hard for him. It's hard for them to cut it off. Like a light switch when they see the quarterback starting to slide. It's hard for them to turn that switch off and just dial it back.
But I see sometimes when they go and sack the quarterback, they don't hit the QB as hard. So
Because they're there. They spend all their energy getting there. And they practice it.
Mm.
They practice getting there, and they have to dial it back, or else it's going to be a 15. You're giving them a first down.
Right.
And they have to coach themselves up to do so. So when a guy does do that, that's coaching and that's discipline.
Right.
But it is significantly hard to turn that juice down, that testosterone that he's trying to kill the quarterback.
Yeah.
You out there, he see him, he been trying to get him. It's hard. And then for him to let up, it's like, it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah. So we sharing Thanksgiving, still had family over at the house, and we had to watch the Old State game, baby.
Mm.
We saw what went down at the end of the game.
Her family, Maria's from Columbus.
Yeah,
So all her
Buckeyes
family
all
came up from
day, Buckeye
Columbus.
fans. Yeah.
I went to Kent State.
Yeah.
I was looking at everybody and listening. I was like, oh, they big
I was like,
mad.
what's these Buckeyes, right?
Hey, they were
They big time Buckeye
mad.
fans.
They were cussing
They-
and it almost ruined Thanksgiving at the house. So
Well, that was
yeah.
Saturday, wasn't
Well,
it? That was
yeah,
Saturday.
we had
Just the
people stay
weekend. They like,
over.
oh man, the Bucks lost, man. Yeah, to Michigan of all people. But when it comes to what went down after the game,
Right.
what do you think about the post game protocols? Because I do recall saying here months ago after the Colorado games, we watched those, and I'm like, they just let the fans just run down to the field, Shador and his family, and the
Right.
team can't get out. I thought that was unsafe. So
Right.
then to see what happens at the Old State game Saturday, fighting,
Yeah.
planting. You're going to plant your
that's
flag
tradition, too.
on an away team's field.
Right.
I know you was like, man, Old State, they just sore losers. But no, you can't plant a flag on the away team. You can't plant.
That
you can't-
happens when they lose. Baker Mayfield did it.
Ohio State would have done the same exact thing if
Exactly.
it was in the big house.
They do.
And now they want to
Ryan
act on,
went to
and
Cincinnati.
now they want to act almighty because they got upset by a clearly inferior team, and now your coach is once again on the hot
You heard
seat.
him right.
Ryan went to
The
Cincinnati. y'all. He went
object
to University
was
of Cincinnati,
but
man.
the
You know
important part
what?
he
The
said-
truth is, you were the better team. You had the better recruits. You were the number 2 ranked team in the country. You
Had
let
no
them come
business
in there,
losing.
kick your ass for the 4th year straight, embarrass Will Howard because he played horrible. Chip Kelly called an awful game, and you know what? You lost. Deal with it.
And you should have sat there and just watched it, because that'll make the feeling so it won't ever happen. It would never happen again, right? It's like discipline. It's like getting a whooping. at the end. It's like sitting there and you have to take it.
And you want to go ahead and cross out every single M on your campus, and you better defend it. You
But
can't defend it after the fact.
I like how the coach.
Facts.
Yeah.
Is that not facts? I
I'm
get
just
how
stirring-
he.
I'm just stirring the
Look,
pot a
I
little
get
bit.
how Buckeye fans feel, right? That's like the
We feel
Steelers
disrespected.
and
We feel
Browns.
disrespected.
Steelers and Browns. You think I would have let the Steelers plant a flag
On our field, on
win or
our
lose?
turf, right?
Win or lose,
You gotta
I'm,
fight.
I'm
You
gonna be
gotta.
like the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
We down there. I'm like, man, get the guns, get the rocket launchers, let's go. And I'm gonna forget that I'm a civil. I'm gonna forget I ain't in the military for that little bit of time. And I think it's
I'm so messy though. I'm sitting there rewinding and looking to see who wasn't fighting. Like, nah, when one team ever fight, everybody got to fight now. We all got to fight. I know you can't fight. You got some muscles. You can fight something. But I'm just thinking, like, man, just the post-game protocols. Like, what do you do? Because people want to adapt each other up. They want to, share jerseys, sign each other's jerseys, switch things out. I'm just like, dang, they might have to switch it up to where they can't do that anymore. If they're going to be balling and having a brawl after each game or after an intense game like that. But
I didn't.
Bucks got some work to do.
I thought it was again, I said if I was the Bucks, if I was a Buckeye and I was a player, I'd be fighting too. And it's up to somebody else to have gotten them off the field.
All right.
Their coaches had to get them off the field.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And that's what happens. And the coaches looked like he was about to join in the fight too. He probably was like, man, they gonna take my job. Y'all MF suckers. Yeah, with that, look, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Be right back. All right, you guys, welcome back to The Return. Now, one other thing we did over this holiday weekend, we went to the, what, was it the regional finals?
Yeah.
Josh, the Archbishop Hovind
The game
versus
before States.
Avon game.
The game before States and
We were freezing our tails. It was so cold out there, y'all.
yeah,
Them hand warmers don't work. We
the
need a
last
new
time I was out
invention.
there in that cold, Ryan, I was getting paid millions. I was getting
Ryan,
paid.
I'm not going. I can't even swell. I was in the bathroom
like,
at halftime.
Maria was blowing.
I went to the bathroom.
She gone. Look. She caused a lot of people to leave the section, and when we had everybody kind of bundled up close
right?
for body heat, she left, and it's me and her cousin's boyfriend, and I'm like, man, we ain't about to be bundling
Like, we don't
up.
know each other like that.
I'm like,
right?
man, they messed up the warm, so then we had to get up and go get hot chocolate and all that
as soon
stuff.
as my toes start getting
I'm
cold,
like,
it's a wrap. But Josh,
Avon was ready.
yeah, they were ready.
They were a really good offense.
Got to be honest.
And they handled Hoban Knights with ease.
Yeah.
Hoban put out. They held off as long as possible. They battled to the very end, but Avon was ready. They might win it all.
Yeah,
Avon
was
might
ready.
win it all.
They were
They
really
have
good.
a really good offensive coaching staff, offensive staff, and they were more energetic and they wanted it more. The cold doesn't bother the team that's trying to win, right? It hurts more, especially when you're losing. The cold is even more colder, but when you're winning and the momentum is on your way, you don't even feel the cold. And that's kind of how it was that game as well.
Yeah, let me speak to our son Israel was talking about this. He's like, we don't make it to the States. I want to go see this guy named Bryce Underwood play. And I'm thinking it's a local game. Like, he's like, if he makes
He
it to the
talking about
States-
in Michigan.
in Michigan, right?
I was like,
so,
nah,
you know the
bruh.
story. So he
Yeah.
told me the whole situation. He said Bryce Underwood, he's like a 5-star recruit. He's like
Yeah, I
the number
gave him-
one
look at my face,
high
Ryan.
school QB football player in the nation, right?
Nah, he looked at me in the mirror. I'm like,
I'm taking him. If
Adjusted
they,
the mirror.
I'm with him. He know, but he asked, Izzy asked
They weren't
me,
gonna take any
he know
vehicle
mom
there.
is always down for like whatever. So I'm like, we can go to the game. Y'all don't make it to the States and he's still playing, we rolling, right? But then he
Nope.
came and told me, because he been talking about him for the whole season. He came and told me that
He lost
Bryce
too.
Underwood, now listen to this. He committed to LSU, right? But then he ended up decommitting. He's going to stay home in Michigan and play for University of Michigan. But he was telling me it was something about, they're going to pay him more NIL money to stay home and play for the University of Michigan. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I even know
My thoughts on NIL money or the
doing
fact
what, doing what you got to do. Because is it bad taste when a college gives you an offer? Can they rescind that offer?
Yes.
They can?
Yeah. It's looked at as it's frowned upon.
But they can rescind the...
yes.
Wow.
Especially if they didn't sign a contract. They can rescind the offer. Offers aren't guaranteed.
Let them know, because we had a situation go down
Offers
in our
aren't
friend
guaranteed.
group where someone was offered a college scholarship, and they thought that they had time to, okay, this is during basketball season in the
Yeah,
winter.
they thought
We'll
they
wait
had
till we
time
go
to
up there and we'll
shop around.
we'll visit the college campus in the spring. and then it got rescinded and they were crushed. And Josh the
Right.
whole time was saying,
Commit.
commit
you can
now,
always
commit.
decommit.
They didn't do it. They
Facts.
lost the scholarship
You can
offer.
always decommit.
Can you speak to any parents out there who their child is, or they're getting offers and they're
Commit.
not,
commit?
and with this portal too, are they even still getting offers
you-
with this portal?
If your child had one good game or one good year, commit to the D1. You know, your overall goal, you got to look at what is your fail safe, right? I want to go D1. That's your biggest goal. You got a D1 offer, commit. Still shop around. Serious, easy as that.
Mm-hmm.
So just a quick story about myself. I was offered a scholarship to Maryland by Coach Loxley. He was a running back coach at the time. He's the head coach right now at Maryland, and he offered me a scholarship, and I had to take it. I had a couple days, and I wanted to shop around still. And he took the scholarship. He pulled it,
Wow.
and I had one good year at Kent, and he was, come on home now. I'm
Oh,
like,
I
nah,
remember- I
because I
do
had to sit
remember
out.
that.
Right. And
Yeah.
he was texting me, emailing, come on home. I'm like, nah, man, I'm on a run, man. We play Ohio State, play Iowa. I'm playing the big schools. I'm good. I'm the QB. I'm having success. Now, if it was a transfer portal back in the day, I don't know what would happen.
Right.
We'd have had to probably take our talents to another team, and I would have probably hit the portal.
Yeah.
But it worked out. So it can work out
It-
when guys stay put and build something at these programs.
And I did tell Izzy, this is at the end of the day, it's a business. And
It is n-
that
it
young
is a
man, Bryce
business.
Underwood, had to do what he had to do to secure his family. You know, because sometimes you can play in college and not make it any further than that. So they're offering me millions of dollars to come to this university. Take it.
I would argue
take whatever you can.
that the Ohio State team, those guys, Maurice Clarett was probably be still playing right now
if it weren't
in the NFL.
Yeah.
Had it been for the portal, had it been for NIL money, because you remember when Ohio State players had to sell their rings, they had to do all this off the field
Yeah.
stuff. He wanted to go pro because he wanted to
Yeah.
make money.
some people don't
They
have
were
mommy
broke.
not putting money in their account.
So
Some
hold
people got
on,
bills to pay.
Maria.
Some people have kids.
When we
They
these college students got
broke college
arrested,
students.
for I'm not arrested, but lost scholarships and they lost they caused the Ohio State to lose scholarships because they did this because they didn't have no money.
Yeah.
Think of these guys if they had NIL money. Clarett would have stayed all 4 years and
Yeah.
would have been a millionaire at Ohio State
Yeah.
with NIL money, and then would have been probably a top draft pick. Probably would have had a better head on his shoulders. Would have thought clearly.
Because back
he
then, all they were giving
wasn't
you back
ready
then
to
was
be
a
a pro
college
yet.
scholarship. Putting you, and that's nothing to them because it's putting another body in the classroom.
Exactly.
We gotta end the show. We're going to break.
Break.
Oh, I'm gonna say I got some more to say. Okay,
Yeah,
don't go
you
anywhere.
said
We'll be
one.
right back. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the welcome back to the return. Now, Josh, you're absolutely right. And some of these players, they get these scholarships, and all they were doing back then was providing them with education and some food. But they didn't have any money. Some of them have children. Some of them come from very underserved
Complex
circumstances. Right? You can't.
situations,
Right. You can't have me out here broke. I gotta eat.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that Bryce Underwood is doing what he has to do to secure the
Izzy
bag
still
for his
wasn't
future.
going to that game.
Um,
man. I wasn't taking him to that game to see nobody 2-3 hours away.
I think he's still playing. And
Come on.
mommy, that's what mommy's. Mom.
Hey,
come
you
on.
beat Bryce Underwood.
That's
I'm,
why he
I'm
didn't ask
raising
you.
him
He
to
asked
be the
you.
top
Right,
quarterback.
that's
Let
true.
people come
But he
fight
wanted to
see
see what
you.
he can do. He wanted.
All right.
I think especially nowadays when you can just tune in on
Exactly.
Yeah, you can. You
Hey,
have
they
to-
streaming the game. I'll pay the $9.
And
We
Michigan
not
is cold
driving
out
to Michigan.
there.
I'm not sitting out. Look, and he's a freshman quarterback. I ain't even want to go to the game, Ryan. He's not getting in. I was supporting other people's kids
That was nice, Josh.
and had on my Knights like I'm.
We
like,
didn't have to worry about that with you.
he
You
was
always
a
play.
freshman. Nah, I wanted to see what it felt like. I
Only-
haven't been in
and-
the stands in a while.
And I know this is a sensitive topic, and only because you just happen to mention Kent State. Josh, he's sensitive.
Very sensitive.
He's sensitive.
Pulled off the
He over here
perfect season.
crying. He hearing
Yeah.
students. He's hearing players are
Players
transferring and
decommitting,
in the portal. They want to
players
be out.
decommitting, who committed. Players, one of their best wide receivers, he hit the portal. 2 more hit the portal the next day after that. How can you build a program, right, if you got a coach there who hasn't won a MAC game trying to build something, but you got to start over again?
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. That's all I'm going to say about that.
He said it with some tears in his eyes over the weekend, but it's
Now, don't say I was crying boo-hoo tears. I'm crying motivational action action
Yeah,
tears.
he wants the best.
Tears that gonna have action behind it.
Right. Now, when it comes to, now it's basketball season, I was telling your son, okay, take a week off before you get into basketball. Because, what was your thoughts?
Ryan, what
I got yelled at.
WTF that, right? What
Ryan, he been going
who
hard since
tells-
May.
Take
Oh
a
yeah,
week off.
I hate
No
that.
week
Take a
off?
week off.
No mental break?
I had two
For
sports
Izzy?
going on at the
You
same
like Izzy,
time.
right? You think he cool?
I had to leave
He's fine.
swimming, and go to basketball practice because the basketball practice started just a little bit later. So I was able to get off of school and go right to hit the water and then go up to basketball practice. I was allowed to do that.
No.
Take a week off. No, keep it moving, keep it running. His life should be fulfilled with unlimited sports. He could be that
Unlimited
guy.
sports. You guys, we love
Unlimited
y'all so much for
sports.
watching. Ryan, we got to go, don't we?
All day,
We'll see y'all
every
next time
day.
on the return.
Go
Bye.
Dogs, beat the Squealers.